Last night's matchup between the Clippers and the Lakers was an absolute clinic in shot making. Not only that, the Lakers finally get their first win against the Clippers since 2020. What a thrilling victory and a lot of momentum for the Lakers to look to build on after this win. This was a game where not only was Kawhi Leonard absolutely hitting on all cylinders, but so was Paul George. One, I want to give a huge shout out to this Lakers team for weathering a bad first half. In the first half of the game, the Lakers found themselves down by 19 in the first quarter, 11 first half, almost 12 first half turnovers. Very sloppy play by the Lakers in the beginning. Austin Reaves didn't really get it going. LeBron James and D'Angelo Russell, along with Anthony Davis, were able to keep the game relatively within a 10 to 13 round mark until the second half of the game, where the Lakers completely blew the game open. LeBron James still shows us at the age of 38 years old why he not only is he one of the greatest players to ever pick up a basketball, but LeBron James still at his age impacts the game unlike any other basketball player we have ever seen. In a season where there's been conversations about his minute restrictions and how impactful will he be this late in his career, LeBron James unleashed for 35 and 11, 4 of 8 from the three-point line, an absolute LeBron James masterclass. I don't even think this stuff surprises me anymore. I mean, what hasn't he done in this league? And when he goes out there and dominates games like this, we really should not be surprised. I mean, this is who he's been since he's entered the league, and he's just found ways to beat Father Time, which might not really be undefeated at this point, just watching him dominate the game the way he's done it. Now, one really big bright spot for me was watching D'Angelo Russell and Anthony Davis match the star power of the Clippers when Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, who both absolutely went off. Kawhi Leonard did a lot of his damage in the first half. It really did get ugly in that first half. The Lakers went down by as much as 19, had about 12 turnovers in the first half. It looked like this could be one of those games where it can get ugly fast and potentially get out of hand. The Lakers showing resilience and rallying in the game and coming back in the second half to finish this thing not only gave, I think, Lakers fans a good sign of hope of what's to come, but I think it shows, at least from a locker room morale standpoint, is that we are still just as much of a contender as any team in the West. And when you do it against a quality opponent like the Clippers, it does feel really good. Now, I want to give a huge shout out to Cam Reddish, a player who is been passed over, kind of wasn't put in the right situations in Atlanta. It didn't work out in New York and Portland, but a player who was highly touted coming out of high school and was projected to be a lottery pick, was drafted in the lottery in his draft class, didn't really have the opportunity to pan out to what people thought it would be. But here on the Lakers, I think Lakers fans, I know, J-Rob, why are you talking about Cam Reddish? He gave up that foul to tie that Paul George tied the game late. However, Cam Reddish was asked to go out there and defend Kawhi Leonard and Paul George on the perimeter because Jared Vanderbilt was out, Taurean Prince is out, Rui Hachimora is out. And honestly, I really felt like he went out there and answered the challenge. He was active in transition defense. He poked a bunch of passes. He had 4 steals on the day, 1 elite block on Kawhi Leonard. I really enjoyed his ability to not only create turnovers, but even find some offense in spurts here and there. Now, his shot making has to come along, but he does have the ability to score and has the skill set to be a two-way player in this league. Be a legitimate quality role player at the minimum. Now, I feel like going forward, Cam Reddish is a guy who you may see play a little two-guard at times just because of his size, and I think there's been a lot of criticism about his ability to play defense, but if you watch this game, you see the potential is all there. So I do want to give a shout out to Cam Reddish for not only stepping up, being down multiple guys, but showing glimpses of why he was such a highly touted prospect heading into the draft and coming out of high school. I want to give another big clap for Darvin Ham. He did admit that they're still trying to figure out rotations, but in the game where you're shorthanded, Jared Vanderbilt missing his 5th game, no Hachimora, no Taurean Prince. He didn't panic. He found things that worked, and one chess move that Darvin Ham made that I don't think was not only talked about on the broadcast, but it won't be probably mentioned too much by social media and fans is he utilized height when the Clippers went small. Now, obviously, I know this might sound like this is the obvious thing to do, but the Clippers do have a small ball lineup. And when you have the height advantage, you go out there and you exploit that height advantage. Having Christian Wood and Anthony Davis on the floor during that overtime definitely was one of the differences in the game because that height, especially with LeBron James running point, you have the big pick and roll possibilities. It definitely was a difference maker, and it's nice to see Darvin Ham finding things that work just to not only figure out continuity with his team, but I think also having some confidence within himself to go with certain lineups. Now, I really hope that Jackson Hayes finds, his rhythm within all of this as well, because I think he can be another solid piece. But I was really happy to see from an overall shorthanded team effort, this was as quality of a win as you get. And I think the Lakers should take this game and build off that momentum going into the future, especially as they get healthy going into this year. I think Austin Reaves, I think his shot will fall eventually. It is still very early in the year. We're only 5 games in. And Lakers fans, one point in the year, we started out 2-10. They're 3-2. So these are good signs to start this year. I definitely feel like you got to continue to trust the process. But this team, I still believe, as constructed, has all the makings it needs in order to go out there and compete and contend for a championship. When guys like Anthony Davis and LeBron James go out there and dominate, and then you get D'Angelo Russell being a lead guard, being a Premier League guard like I think he can be, the sky's the limit for this Lakers team. And I think for fans, not having 3 of your better perimeter players out there and still finding a way to win, this should be a good building block for this Lakers team. And with that being said, if you want to follow any more Lakers content, follow Lakers Digest here. And guys, if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed yet, guys, please make sure you subscribe. More of you are actually watching this video are not subscribed than those who are. So make sure you hit that subscribe button on your way out, and go Lakers.